Hello, and I would like to welcome you to my demonstration on how to create a rollover slidelet using Captivate 6.0. First of all, what is a rollover slidelet? As you notice the description of the Adobe Captivate, it's indicating that a rollover slidelet is a space on a slide that displays a associated slide. It's really just a slide within a slide. What happens is you have an image. That image is a hotspot. And when the user rests their mouse pointer over the hotspot, it will trigger the rollover slidelet to display additional content. And the type of content that can be displayed in the slidelet can be a text box, images, you can add audio, video. The slidelet area is not an interactive object, so you cannot enter text, hyperlinks, or click boxes. Also, the timeline of the slidelet, you would modify the objects just as if you would modify objects within the slide itself. So let's take a look at creating a rollover slidelet. First of all, I have a blank slide being displayed, and then over on your objects bar you will notice that you have the tool called Insert Rollover Slidelet. Now if you are more familiar with going up to the menu bar, you can also click on Insert. It is a part of a standard object, and then you also have Rollover Slidelet. Keyword shortcut lovers, there it is, Shift Control Z. So as I click, the rollover slidelet contains two objects, the slidelet and the rollover slidelet. So let me go ahead and move these so that you can see that there's two separate objects. Here, the smaller square, this is the slidelet rollover area, and this is where the user would rest their mouse pointer over an image. Then, when the user rests their mouse pointer over the slidelet area, it then will trigger the slidelet itself. And first thing we need to do is go up to Insert, and I'm going to insert an image. The image that I'm going to insert is just going to be a Facebook image. So as I double click on Facebook, the first thing I will do is resize it so it's about the same size as the slidelet rollover area, which again, this is the hotspot. Now as I rest my mouse pointer over the slidelet area and drag it on top of the picture, do you see that the rollover area is actually behind the picture? Because we inserted the slidelet first, then the picture second. So you may want to get into the habit of inserting your images first, but this is a simple fix. On the slidelet area, I can actually right click, go into the option to arrange, and with arrange I can bring to front. So that way it assures that when the user rests their mouse pointer that is the hotspot. Otherwise the hotspot is going to be back behind the picture and it would not be active. Now that I have my image, what I'm going to do is insert some content into the slidelet itself. I can rearrange this. Any objects that I want to insert, I must right click on the slidelet. I have the option to insert objects, and first of all I'm just going to start off with inserting a text caption. With the text caption I'm just going to type in join family and friends on Facebook. With the text caption, I do have the option to resize and reposition as needed. Then I'm also going to insert a second image. And as I insert a second image, it will also be a Facebook image. And just now you have created a rollover slidelet. But a couple more features. I have hidden my timeline, but I can right click on the gray bar and expand it. So at this point, when I click on the slidelet area, it indicates that this is going to appear on the screen for 3 seconds. That may not be enough time for the user to even move their mouse to activate that hotspot. So I'm just going to adjust the timeline so that the image stays on the slide for about 15 seconds. And let me go ahead and adjust the image itself. But watch what happens. As I click on the slidelet, it has its own timeline. And so I also want to adjust so that the timeline will appear for approximately 15 seconds. The image inside the timeline, let's say it's going to have about a 2-second delay before it appears, and then it will disappear about the last 2 seconds. And then I'm ready to preview. I can go up to the tool, click on preview. The project would be all the slides, but if I just want to preview the one slide, I can press F8 and I'll do just that. Give Captivate just a moment to load, and as soon as you rest your mouse pointer over the Facebook image, the content within the slidelet does appear. Now it may not look very pretty, but notice at the moment the Facebook image has a really thick border. It's just a visual to let you know that yes, you are resting your mouse pointer over it. And the second Facebook image appears approximately 2 seconds after I rest my mouse pointer, and I am keeping it here for a few seconds, and notice it disappeared. So it is working as it should. Now, I do want to show you that you can overlap multiple rollover slidelets. Slide number 2 has already been completed. With slide number 2, take a look. It looks like it's a mess right now, but I have one slidelet on top of another on top of another. As I click on the Facebook icon, down in my timeline, it highlighted the Facebook slidelet that I had selected. So if I want to hide that, I simply click on the hide button. I will do the same thing with the Twitter icon. I can see that the slidelet is also selected, and in the timeline, rollover slidelet is highlighted here. And as I click on the hide button, now I can see just the one object. So if you need to work on one object at a time, remember in your timeline you have the option to hide your objects. And let me just preview this slide right here so that you can see the finished product of putting a slidelet, multiple slidelets. There's Facebook. I rest my mouse pointer over Twitter as well as YouTube. So being able to create a slidelet using Captivate 6.0, as you see, is very simple. Insert your image first. Right-click on the slidelet area to insert additional objects, and always make sure that you have the slidelet area on top of your objects. So I hope you join me for additional demonstrations that I create in the future. Thank you.